Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to Anoyed Gamer. I am Marcus Beer, and I have got a tasty show for you today. Gonna do something I don't normally do and revisit a topic from last week. Obviously, it's SimCity. I mean, those guys just keep on giving and giving when it comes to the buffoonery stakes. But first of all, I'm going to talk about Sony. I'm going to talk about God of War Ascension, and I'm going to talk about Bros Before Hoes, which is, without a doubt, the stupidest achievement title I have ever seen slapped into a video game. Admittedly, there was a patch this week that changed the name to Bros Before Foes, which is actually a better play on words and a lot smarter, which leads me to think, what was Sony Santa Monica thinking? I'm wondering if it was a PR thing. I'm wondering if it's one of these stunts that backfired. And let's face it, there's been a lot of PR stuff backfiring recently. I can't see anybody in their right mind wanting to put that particular quote, which is, you know, a really vilified one because it's really offensive. It reinforces misogyny at the highest level. Basically says that all women are whores. I think whoever came up with that particular trophy name does need a swift kick in the backside and maybe not let near any naming committees ever again. Or at least, you know, for a couple of years until they grow up. Although they did get us talking about the game, which is unfortunately a very dated game in my opinion. Yeah, graphically it looks pretty, but let's face it, all the gameplay tropes that you have within the game are exactly the same as the last one. It's linear, there's quick time, throw this, whack these guys, bounce up and down, do a combo, everything that you expected from a game from 2004. I'm hearing good things about multiplayer, but I really can't be asked to check it out, to be honest with you. Let's go back to this trophy. You do get this trophy after beating the crap out of an unarmed woman and letting a soldier escape. Let's face it, yeah, the game is misogynistic. You know, it's guys, it's women, it's boobs, it's bigger boobs on the men. But I find it interesting that, you know, games like God of War deservedly get a kicking, and then there are other games where, you know, oh, you know, you're killing a woman, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then you do get Tomb Raider, where Lara spent the entire length of the last game killing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of men, but they were bad men, so I guess it was is different. I'm not comparing God of War and Tomb Raider. I think they're totally different games. One's really enjoyable, the other one's God of War Ascension. I don't want to get into this whole huge misogynistic discussion. The games industry was formed by and is still mostly populated by guys. Before you get all uppity and everybody starts bitching at me again, I know we've had girl gamers, but the immense proportion have come in the last generation with the accessibility of the Wii and the PS3 and the Xbox. That's why we've seen more and more women come into gaming, which is a good thing because it gives us more options. Now, I'm hoping these women are going off to make more games. I mean, we can have great female role models. Lara Croft, Man Killer, she is a fun role model. I had a blast with that game, I loved it. Assassin's Creed Liberation, Aveline, she is a great, strong role model. Commander Shepard, a femshep, who is absolutely brilliant and way more playable than her male counterpart. We're seeing more of those coming through. It's gonna take more time. My problems with God of War go way beyond just bros and hoes. It goes back to the fact that I'm just replaying the same game over and over, and it just doesn't feel like a great game. I talked about SimCity last week. It's without a doubt the worst video game launch of the year, and Lucy Bradshaw, nothing against you personally, but I don't think you've really helped things this week. She did a Twitter takeover, she's done a bunch of interviews. Obviously, they're trying to push back on this always on DRM thing, and it's like, oh, it's a fallacy, computations are done server-side, that we need this always on internet connection because your PCs can't handle the billions and trillions and squillions and bajillions of computational algorithms that go on and all this sort of stuff. Well, guess what? In this day and age, when you put a quote out like that, somebody's going to try and prove you wrong, and a lot of people already have. Marcus Peterson, Notch, the guy who created Minecraft, he knows a little bit about servers and creating PC games and connectivity and interactivity, and he basically has come out and said that he's got the game working offline. A modder in the UK released a video this week that basically shows it takes about 20 minutes before the game starts to figure out that you're offline. He basically went in and modified or hacked, whichever you want to call it. He got the game running for longer than that, and it still saves everything up to the cloud afterwards. When it comes to DRM, look at it this way, Maxis and Lucy and your PR guys. Don't piss in my face and tell me it's raining. Soak that in, no pun intended. What I'm basically saying is, don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter, don't bullshit the gamers. Gamers are way too savvy. The world has evolved from 5-10 years ago where the same old, tired PR tropes could be busted out, where it's like, okay, well, we'll do the mea culpa, we'll do the apology, we'll offer a free game, we'll then put out some technical mumbo jumbo, and everybody will accept it and move on, and we won't have to give any refunds and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? The world has changed. Now you put stuff out, it's on Twitter instantaneously, it's on Facebook, it's on Google+, it's everywhere, it's on Reddit. And when that stuff hits, people see it as a challenge. People will go into your server code. People will have a route around. People who are way smarter than I am and have way better tech skills than I do, and they will call you out. Not only that, you'll get people within your own company calling you out. Rock Paper Shotgun did an interview with somebody who works for Maxis. They have to keep him anonymous because the guy wants to keep his job. But basically, he totally contradicted everything that's been put out by Lucy and the PR team over the past week. And he basically said that's rubbish. The DRM connection is precisely that. The connection to the servers is basically a standard server connection, just pinging info back and forth. The computations are mostly done on the PC side. People who've gone in, had a look at the code, found the terraforming button. Remember terraforming? Remember when you could basically create your own customizable area for your huge city and put water in as you wanted before you had a bunch of preloaded templates? You know, that old school SimCity stuff where it was actually really, really cool and you had a sense of achievement. Well, that's still in there. It's totally disabled, of course, much like cheater mode. Yeah, that was a good idea. Thank you, Maxis. And of course, this has given rise to a number of suggestions from people, conspiracy theories, if you will, which I actually tend to agree with, that we will see some big cities and big regions coming to SimCity shortly via downloadable content and microtransactions. If you want a bigger city, you're gonna have to pay for it. If you want to do some good stuff, give us an offline mode. Now, you may not be able to do that right away. Get working on it. Tell us you're working on it. Make us a little happier. You know what else would be cool? Release a server, standalone server code. So let people host their own servers. Give them some LAN support or something so that people who want to go off and play with their friends can throw up their own password protected server and they can go off and not really have to worry about dealing with the vagaries and the inconsistencies of Origin. Basically, give the gamers what they want. Stop treating us like shit. All right, that's it. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Before you know it, I will be here bitching and moaning again like the pissy pope of gaming that I am. Until then, cheers. I'm gonna have a nice vacation and I'm gonna get very wound up after GDC. Laters.
See this and other GT shows and game reviews on the GT Originals iOS app, available now on the App Store.